Hey YouTube, Peterbilt Knife Guy. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be talking about D2 steel. So let's talk about D2. Recently, cheaper knife companies have been coming out with D2, and when I say cheaper, I mean like Chinese companies, Chinese D2. We have 4 different examples of D2 out here. Everything's made in China except for the Benchmade. And honestly, the Benchmade's the one that I have the least experience with, even though I've owned it the longest and have had 2 of them. But these knives, I'm more of a Bowie knife guy. You can tell I've used it, but it's not me. I don't carry it. I thought it was neat. I bought 2 of them, and yeah, so I can't speak much on American D2. So as you see here, this is Benchmade in D2. It's not CPM D2, it's just D2. It's the 375 Adamas. I can never get it right. But yeah, I mean, it's, for the limited use I've used it for, it's held up good. But mainly what I'm talking about today is budget D2. So a family member of mine is an electrician and has access to a lot of wire to strip. And a couple times I've helped him out stripping wire. And I used this guy right here. It's the Holtzman's Gorilla Survival Neck Knife. And then 2 times I used this guy, the Ontario Rat 1 in D2. And I cannot say enough about it. I have not touched this thing since I have stripped for, I'll say 3 hours worth of copper that's this big. And let's test the edge. See, now I'm making a fool of myself. It's dirty. Clean it off. Now let's try it. Okay, so it has lost its razor edge, but let's do something real quick, since I look like an ass. Let's just throw it on the strop, just real quick. This is just green compound, a couple light strops, bring it over the leather. And this is kind of just a stupid video. I got home late, but I have been super impressed with this D2. There you go. It took just that much on a strop to bring this thing back to excellent sharpness. Maybe not a big knife, but as for a fixed blade knife, I mean not a fixed blade, a folding knife, like a pocket knife, this D2 has just been freaking excellent for me. I mean, this is just, come on, let's drop it up just a little bit more. Because I mainly used this section right here when I was doing it. So let's just give it a couple more seconds on a strop and see what it does for this edge, because that's just awesome. If you can just take a strop, even with a little compound, and just bring it right back to hair popping sharp, in my opinion, that speaks volumes. My last EDC was a Benchmade in 20 CV. And I'll tell you right now, I've done the same thing with it, and there was no way after I was putting it on a strop and bringing it back to hair popping sharp. Yeah, this is just, it's just good stuff. Could I take more time with it and get a better edge out of it, or a better piece of paper? Absolutely. See, it's almost wanting to pull, it'll pull hairs. It'll pull hairs. Gross test, but it'll do it. But yeah, this stuff is good for a small fixed blade, or I mean a small fixed blade, or even just a small folder. D2 is excellent. Some people snub it because it's not the latest and greatest super steel. Let's try this guy. You can see all the marks, still got pieces of stuff on it. But this one, so I did this for 1 day. I'd use this one for 2 days, but yeah, good freaking stuff. maybe not the strongest. It's not 1095, but edge retention is just fan-freaking-tastic. So these new knife companies coming out with D2 has me excited, because if you can get a budget knife with a steel that's going to hold a good edge, I have not had any chips or rolls in these things. And yeah, it's just been fantastic. This guy I haven't used very much. This is the Rosecraft Blades Appalachian Jack in D2. It's kind of more of a gentleman's carry. As you can see, I have not been taking care of it, and I need to clean it up because that's probably stained. But this is not my style. I mean, I like it. I think it looks good, but for EDC purposes, it's not me. But yeah, if you're looking into like a budget knife and it has D2 steel from China, so this one's from China. Doesn't say on there, but it's from China. This one's from Japan or Taiwan. Both excellent steels. I cannot speak on American-made D2, even though I've owned it because I just haven't used it enough. But Frank at What's the Point EDC has used his quite a bit, and it seems to hold up well. And I trust Frank, so we'll say that it does too. Yeah, so anyways, this is kind of just a late video. Got home late. Thanks for watching.